Welcome to yet another episode of Beyond Her Story on Wonder Woman Wednesday. Today we have with us Vanitha Santosh. On Beyond Her Story, we have seen a lot of transitions where women have transitioned from their careers to being an entrepreneur. But today we have Vanitha, who has actually been an entrepreneur right from the days of her education. But she has transitioned into 3 businesses, which we'll learn about in today's conversation. Welcome, Vanitha, to Beyond Her Story. It's such a pleasure to have you.
Thank you, Sneha, for recognizing entrepreneurs like us on your show. And it feels happy and great to be here today.
So, like I introduced you, that you've been an entrepreneur right from maybe your studying days.
Yes.
So, my first question would be like, how did it hit you that young that you have to become an entrepreneur, or was it by chance?
I can say I was bitten by a creative bug, and I was inclined to designing, and I was a very curious child who loved fabrics and colors, and that led to Udupu, my first label, wherein we used to do mix and match kurtas way back in early 90s,
Okay.
wherein the concept didn't happen, which didn't exist. So Udupu actually gave me a lot of scope for exploring my creative ideas into women clothing.
Mhm.
I can say affordable women clothing for all the college and young working professionals, which we didn't have much options then, and skin friendly, especially cotton, linens, and silks were absolutely not your everyday wear, was not there at all. Wherein you had only georgettes, chiffons, and all the synthetic fabrics which was flooded in the market. And since I had a sensitive skin, so I explored this angle and explored this opportunity, and I started a label called Udupu.
Was there something which made you think that I have to become an entrepreneur? Because to be very frank, when you're going through your education and all, it doesn't come easily, especially to women.
Yes.
Because the mindset is that you finish your education and you take up a job and do whatever you've been studying. So I'm a bit curious about how did that happen, especially in 90s, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
early 90s. See, I come from a very humble, conservative Brahmin family, and business or including like fashion designing was just not there in the books at all. So I did my PU in science, but then I took up a NIFT exam side by side. My mother, like, okay, chalo, you do it.
Yeah.
But my uncles and my whole family was literally not for it. They said that's not a career to be taken. But yeah, then Udupu happened when I moved to Mysore. And I figured out, like, there are many like me who needed a platform to showcase and exhibit their creative, perspective, and they want to do something, be it pottery, be it jewelry or home decor, or any handmade products. So I kind of bump into a few of fellow like-minded fellow friends in Mysore, and I started an event. We started an event called Impressions, and it took off very well. That was one of the first kind designer fair exhibitions for Mysore, and even today it is pretty much doing very well. Of course, I'm not part of it, but then my co-partners are doing really well. So Impressions or Udupu gave me a larger picture, and it opened my eyes, and I felt like we could do a lot more in terms of fabric or textiles or garment. So I got into MSME because of Udupu. Then we started Little Bubbles, and we ventured into uniforms. So the transition from Udupu to Little Bubbles is pretty long. Udupu definitely wanted a platform of its own, and I was so much into handmade handicrafts, and I was a self-learned hand block printer. I wanted more of, I didn't wanted anything less. I wanted more from myself.
Yeah.
So I figured out there is there is an opportunity to explore the market in Mysore for handmade products.
Okay.
So I ventured into a retail segment. We opened a small little quaint store in Mysore on Kalidasa Road, which is like called a Brigade Road of Mysore,
Okay.
in 2004.
Okay.
So that's when Little Bubbles also happened together.
What was the name of the store?
It's called the Hidden Store. It was literally hidden with amazing handmade products. We were getting these handmade soaps from Himalayas with the precious and pristine water from Himalayas. We had amazing handmade soaps coming from there, paper mache stuff, and handmade fabric jewelry, which was never heard then in early 2000. And making things out of waste. We were manufacturing kurtas. We were making. I would say we were known for our designer blouses in Mysore. Not only for the embroidery, for hand block printing and patchwork blouses were even till today it's talked about. So all those ways we used to convert into jewelry. We used to convert into little bangles, and my whole store was of waste. We had made chandelier out of bamboo and fabric block printed. Cube light covers were block printed, and something to give back to the nature. And we used to do all these jute products, bamboo products. So the Hidden Store had completely handmade products and handicrafts with our designer Bhagalpuriyas, which were never heard in Mysore, which Kanjivarams, Georgettes, and silk chiffons were talked about. Bhagalpuriyas and Chhattisgarh silk, soft the silks were Munga silks. All these we introduced through Hidden Store and Udupu in Mysore. And people were, even today, they talk about our saris and our blouses and our kurtas in Mysore.
Okay. So Hidden Stores, I think the journey is really interesting.
Yeah, it was very colorful, and it was very fascinating to work with artisans as well as my own team of people who were so creative.
So did that give rise to Little Bubbles? Like, how did that idea come? And maybe we can talk about what is Little Bubbles about.
Little Bubbles actually started in 2003 and 4 along with Hidden Store. That was our manufacturing unit for both our retail segment, that is for Udupu label, as well as our uniform manufacturing setup.
Okay.
So we registered our Little Bubbles and our MSME started off in 2004.
Okay.
It was a beautiful journey. Udupu actually led us to Little Bubbles. There was a huge gap between workwear. There was a huge pain point. People were not happy with workwear, what they used to get in the market.
Okay.
It was not customized. You have to be working for 8 to 12 hours shift, and what you wear is just not comfortable. So our first client was BGS Apollo then. The nurses and doctors were in such pain. They had to be in their OT and the nurses uniform, which just was so uncomfortable. And one of the purchase manager, I would like to definitely mention her name, Nirmala Madappa. She felt, we were doing amazing kurtas, the fit and the cut and all. She requested us to, why don't you do uniforms for our nurses? I would be very happy if you could make them feel comfortable in their OT when they're actually working with the humans. You make their workwear comfortable. So we actually did a lot of brainstorming and research on what fabrics need to be done. It has to be antimicrobial, inflammatory and comfortable, and it has to be anti-infection.
Yeah.
So all these things, I worked with I worked with manufacturers in Karur, Erode. I traveled, I learned myself, and then we got the uniform setup done, and it's been going since then.
Okay.
And we ventured into newborn baby kits along for the hospitals.
Is that why the name is Little Bubbles?
Yes. So even today, people know me as Vanitha Santosh Little Bubbles, unlike the Prime Essentialz later.
Okay. So Prime Essentialz, right?
Yes.
That is a rebranding of your same
Little
brand?
Bubbles, same, yeah.
Okay. So what is that you do now with Prime Essentialz? Have you continued with the uniforms, or have you, you diverted into more options?
Little Bubbles was the beginning. We touched upon different segments of uniforms. For uniforms,
school uniforms.
we don't do much schools. We do a lot of industries, factories, basically specialized industries like wherein you need specialized fabric, anti-static fabric, and proper fit and cut uniforms for executives and managerial levels, and even the workers level, the dangris. As I said, they have to be in their workwear for almost 12 hours shift. So we make their workwear very comfortable. So we ventured into uniforms for industries, and we ventured into hospitals, which we actually are beginning. And we started doing thematic uniforms for hospitality industries. So Jungle Lodges and Orange County, now it's evolved back, were our biggest and the first customers who trusted our creative ideas and creative work. And we worked with them and still work with them even now. So that gave us a wide spectrum of working with fabrics and different industries, and opened up a lot of opportunities into corporate gifting as well.
Vanitha, interesting stories about Udupu, about Little Bubbles and Prime Essentialz. And so we have covered two of your entrepreneurship journey. Now we come to your current latest one, Potz to Pans, right? So what I can see is between your Udupu and Little Bubbles and Prime Essentialz, there is a connect because it's all related to clothing, the fabric part of it and all that. And the last one, the one that you're currently doing along with your Prime Essentialz is Potz to Pans, which is all about authentic Karnataka pickles, chutney powder, amazing dips. So I'm really interested to know how did that journey begin for you?
So let me summarize this in one word. Food is an art, and it's got color, flavor, and texture to it. It's no different than what I've been doing before. And since I come from a Brahmin family, it's told that Panchendrigadu is very important in our food, everyday food.
The five senses.
Five senses, yes. So that means you first actually get attracted to food through your nose and what you hear, and your tongue, taste, and your skin, which you get goosebumps eating something, and the satisfaction of your soul. So if that is attained, you're healthy naturally, and you eat your staple, what your mom, grandmom prepares. That itself is a wholesome food. Of course, we have gotten into indigenous kind of food. We're getting into a hole of eating indigenous food like pizza, pasta. There's no harm in it, but once in a way, it's different from adapting to everyday life. Is so different.
Correct.
So that's how Potz to Pan started. We felt in somewhere like in Bangalore, Mysore, or in metros, our regional food is getting lost and diluted. So you come to Bangalore and you ask for Karnataka authentic food restaurants. Name at least 5. Nimige ele uta sigute. You get ele uta, that is like, North Karnataka.
Correct.
Only.
North Karnataka,
right?
You get,
And you don't get our madhva or, the typical balele uta wherein you have 2 kosamris, 2 palyas, 1 kochu, or majge huri, or, all those basic food.
Correct.
Thali food. You hardly get. And you don't get the authentic taste of what Karnataka people like. Bangalore, Mysore, now dinachari, like everyday food you don't get.
Correct.
Bangalore, it is so popularized. South Indian food means it's like Andhra food, pappu, garlic rasam, and I'm not offended about it, but that is not our regional food, right? So nammali, in our household we never use garlic in our sambar, rasam, or any of the sabjis or palya. So it's like truly sattvic. People pay thousands of rupees for sattvic lifestyle and sattvic food. Please come and stay in Karnataka for a few days. You will automatically become sattvic. So we felt the gap of regional food, home tasting food was missing. And most of our friends used to come home and carry some goodies from our house kitchen as like an annual ritual kind. We used to make pickles in large quantity, mango avakai, nallikai, which is done in raw tamarind pulp. And
your mouth is watering.
yes, mine too. So all that, and chutney pudis for dosa, idli, tokkugalu, all these things used to be an annual ritual to distribute and share our food with our friends and families. And my sister, my strength, and my idol, who I look upon, or I can say I'm at tail, Malini. So she said, "You're mad. you cook so well, and we are come from that, authentic food family. Why don't you package it and just try it? If it doesn't work, you still can distribute, or give it to us. We will take it, but you just try.
Yeah.
So she asked me to try all these puddis and pickles, and one of my neighbor in Sankalp, back in Mysore, she said, you do your cloud. I want you to make a large batch of your pisibele bhat or your majge hudi or nuchinunde, and at least sell it in our apartment.
Okay.
So that's how. And I feel Christmas, December when it comes, I have a tingle in my heart and butterflies in my stomach when we started at our apartment complex with my mom. A Christmas carnival was happening, and as I said, my neighbor Neeru, she actually pushed me to take up a stall and put up my live food counter.
Okay.
And that's where the Potz to Pan started.
Awesome.
with my mom, and to be very honest, with a mere 3,000 rupees as our investment.
Wow.
And I want to mention this, my Udupu and my little bubble started with mere 500 rupees, 501 rupees, which my mom gave me for Gauri Ganapati Arishna Kunkuma, led to Prime Essentialz.
Wow. It's an amazing journey, actually. I think you have it in you, to create something of the talents that you have. See, we have a lot of women who do a lot of wonderful things.
Correct.
But they are not aware, or they don't know how to start or what to do.
Correct.
So I think that is one thing that you have.
I draw my strength from my mom. She's my backbone. She says fear is the biggest weakness in anybody. Mm-hmm. So you should not hesitate, or you should not fear not trying. Mm-hmm. So that will be your biggest regret. I do have regrets that, there are some, moments in my life which I should have taken that leap, which I didn't.
Okay.
But I regret for that moment. But I'm thankful for where I am today because I take my family together. I'm not alone in this. So I take my family with my duties, and women have multiple hands full of duties to
Correct.
have in their journey of life, in spite of filling their soul.
Yeah.
They do have ambitions, they do have aspirations, and yes, I have fulfilled my aspirations or my achievements, or the biggest desires, with small steps in my life. Yeah. My mom and my husband have been biggest role models today. They've held my hand, they've supported me for not taking a back step.
Yeah.
Foot forward always. It's okay. If you lose something, doesn't matter. You learn a lot from it. But of course, it should not be very expensive though.
But I think you have done well starting small, right? And
yes.
I think the small steps is what leads you to bigger.
I'm curious, and I'm all-time learner. I want to learn. So I learn a lot from you, Sneha. The way you are, doing a fabulous job and, showcasing entrepreneurs and so many people on your platform. It gives a wider perspective. There's a lot more to do for women. Mm-hmm. And you help us to, get visibility, and, you reach our message to many women who have dreams and they don't know how to take a step forward to it. And I'm not talking about fancy words of achieving crores of business, but self-contentment. You know your boundaries. Everybody cannot be, Kiran Majumdar Shah, or you can't be Sudha Modi, or you can't be the names.
Yeah.
But still, you are you. Correct. So you should know your boundaries and still make an identity for yourself and be happy with your family. Family is all about you will have in your hands till you die. So, and business or aspirations is dreams, what you fill your soul. So if you can balance it, I think every woman has the great strength because they are like super women with multi hands like a Durga, always on the job. Their mind will be something, their hand will be doing, that mouth will be talking.
Absolutely.
Doing things.
It's like, even when I have to take calls, I'm doing my cooking.
Yes.
The phone is on speaker mode and I'll be taking up dosas.
Absolutely.
I think every woman must have done this.
Yes.
Really nice and very inspirational, Vanitha. I think a lot of women can learn from your journey. And I think, like you said, beginning small, taking that first step is really important. I'm, waiting to get my hands on the products that you've got. If you can just tell what are your specialities and what are the things that people love? I have tried your date pickles, which I am now addicted to. Anytime I have my curd rice, I always search where's my date pickle. And I know there are other things too. So if we can just have a look at the kind of items that you have.
See, as you said, your date pickle.
My favorite. Yeah, this I'm taking. Thank you.
Yes. Our gonguras are pretty famous.
Okay. Spicy?
It's very flavorful. Our gonguras are Karnataka flavored and it is not spicy. It's very flavored, unlike Andhra. And we have our nallikai, which is actually... Amla. Yes, amla with mango ginger, sarsapilla roots and raw turmeric and chilies brined in raw tamarind pulp, which is very authentic to Karnataka. You don't find these kind of processes or the pickles made like age-old my granny or my great-grandmother, the household what we used to make. So this is very authentic, regional. And we have mango toku in green chilies, which is like amazing flavor. It just gives you that kick. Yeah. And of course, our Malna
I need some water or something.
Our Malna chili pickle is like our heritage in a bottle. It's our family recipe over 100 plus years. My mom-in-law's side, we come from Western Ghats. Like my mom is from Ajampur and Kadur, the Chikmagalur belt. My mother-in-law is from Shimoga belt. My grandmom has got a little bit, she's got some roots from Muluknar because her dad was posted in railways for ages. So she's got some flavors in her fingers, like, those. But I do have those flavors which I can feel it in my regular everyday cooking. So our rasam pudis are like talked about.
Mysore rasam.
Yes. And it's very flavorful. And our sambar, bisibelebath, and our chutney pudis are like really awesome. Okay. So you should try some uchellu chutney pudi, nigella seeds and okay. So the best thing about our Potz to Pans products are they are zero preservatives, zero additives and zero color. And the process, we use only unprocessed salt, sandava navana is what we call, and wood pressed sesame oil and badi chili, which is all very gut friendly. Pickle is just not for taste. Basically, it's an accelerator for your stomach, for your gut basically, to fill in a lot of good microbes in your body for digestion. And that is why you combine with your curd rice, you combine with your normal, dosa, idli, which is all a fermented food, right? So you combine that. That's how the science works. It's just not for your tongue taste. Of course, it will tickle your tongue and, you don't eat it like a sabji. You did little. So it is a blend of reaction which goes into your gut. Very, very gut friendly. Wow. So, but you should know what to eat, what pickles to eat. Our pickle are zero preservatives. So you don't have any kind of side effects. You need refrigeration for our products because we don't want to fill in with any preservatives.
Awesome.
Thank you, Sneha, for having me over. Yeah. And I guess we met at one of the shows.
Yes, that was actually something which I remember. I'm not a very outgoing person who normally gets to talking to people right away. But I think you have that energy where people start feeling comfortable and get connected to you. So it's been amazing, Vanitha. We just met at a pop-up store, and I'm really hooked on to your all your products as well. And I also like the energy that you carry, so much positivity, so much the way you talk to customers. I've seen you in a lot of pop-ups as well, and the way you connect with the customers, and I think it's really amazing. There's a lot to learn from you.
I love your energy, Sneha, and most importantly, I feel Udupu, like I was doing the clothing and now Potz to Pans, I meet so many beautiful women like you, of course.
Thank you.
And it's so much of learning happens, and I've met a lot of people. I was selected as one of the 10K women entrepreneurs initiated by Goldman Sachs and ISB in collaboration in 2009 and 10. It was one of the first cohorts in Bangalore. And this was a platform for many women entrepreneurs in Bangalore or in India, which I felt was a trend for women to explore their capabilities, and they were getting to learn beyond doing small scale businesses, how you can do business, how you can be financially, educated, how you can do your marketing, how you can strategize your business, a business plan, and everything. I met wonderful women entrepreneurs. I name a few. Ruchi Mittal from she runs a platform for women. Hen entrepreneur, her entrepreneur.
Yeah, correct.
and Geeta Ramanan, she runs a design cafe. Nivedita, chocolate philosophy.
Yeah.
And Urvi, Nandini, she runs Urvi, which is a NGO. Likewise, so many people I met across in this journey of Udupu, Prime Essentialz, Little Bubbles, and of course Potz to Pans, is like, you grow together. You don't compete with each other. No matter you have a similar product, you collaborate and you grow together. And because of Potz to Pans, I met so many men and women entrepreneurs who are hustling. Okay, we can reach up to 1 to 10. Beyond 10 is a huge challenge. And these kind of, collaboration and people coming together, not competing with each other, you grow.
Correct.
So this has led me to meet people, connect with people, and learn from people. And of course, share your experiences with people if it can help. So you connect with one person whom you know to another person. It helps in their journey.
Yeah.
You can't hold back knowledge.
Correct.
ನಮ್ಮ ಶೃಂಗೇರಿ ಜಗದ್ಗುರುಗಳು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ವಿದ್ಯೆ ಹಂಚಬೇಕು. Whatever you know, you should spread.
Yeah.
And you should ask for it. Only when you ask, you get it.
Yeah.
Even a mother will know the child is hungry only when it cries, right? So I think one message for all women and all entrepreneurs is like, you ask for help. Don't hesitate. It's not a shame. Only when you ask, you can move forward.
Awesome. I think amazing conversation, Vanitha. I've learned a lot. I mean, I've known you for maybe more than a year now, but I think this has been even more, a great conversation to understand all your businesses and the way you have hustled to create such beautiful brands. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I had a wonderful morning with you, Sneha, sharing my experiences and sharing a little knowledge what I have with the rest of the growing and dreaming women entrepreneurs.
Yes.
So it's a 3 cheers for all of us, and I think we can make a difference.
Yes. So thank you so much.
Thank you.